Hello and welcome to the Geeks Handbag. It's a scorching hot sunny day and I'm going to go out and try and find these new B&M sets. I really want to get my hands on the 3rd Doctor one, but I might buy all 3. I'm going to have a look at the Monster one and the 10th Doctor one, which I'm not that bothered about. I've been phoning my local B&M for the last couple of days and they have been beyond useless. They don't even know what I'm really talking about, but I've managed to find a store that's a little bit further out. It means getting a train that say they do have them and they've put them aside for me, so hopefully when I get there I'll finally get my hands on them, because I've been seeing loads of people posting pictures and I've been getting a bit jealous. So yeah, I'm just waiting for a taxi to the train station and I'll be on my way. Well, that was a nice train journey. I was sat next to the toilet and it was one of those slidey door ones. They always freak me out. Anyway, the ladies told me the town centre is just a 5-minute walk this way. In this seat it already feels like a lot longer, but hey, can't be far. This looks like a town centre. Have to say, the woman on the phone didn't exactly fill me with confidence. She was like, yeah, I can see some on the computer, we should have it. So I really hope they've got some when I get there. Here it is. Now, they normally buy these Star Wars stuff, and so this is the one I really want, the 3rd Doctor set. Yeah, it does look good. Master looks very shifty. The Monster set actually looks pretty decent as well, actually. I didn't think I was going to be that bothered about getting it, but now I see it in hand, I like it. Oh, staff announcement. So they've got 2 left on the shelf. They look fairly decent in the paint apps, but the lady said she was going to put me one of each buy, so I'm going to go and see if she's got them. He's just going to the back store to get them. Success! I managed to get all 3 sets, I'm very pleased. So I've given the sets a quick look over and the paint apps look all okay. The girl on the till gave me a really funny look. Maybe she thinks I'm one of these people that's going around buying them all up and selling them on eBay for extortionate prices. But yeah, she gave me a really filthy look for some reason. Anyway, they look okay. I'll have a better look when I get home. To be honest, for what I've paid to get here on the train and taxi and stuff, I probably could have just ordered them off eBay. But I'd much rather come to a proper shop and feel like I've bought them rather than giving somebody else my hard-earned money. Anyway, let's head home and have a better look at them. So let's start with the set I really wanted, which is the 3rd Doctor set, featuring the Master, the Doctor and Joe Grant figure. Just taking a quick look at the packaging, I have to say it's quite nice actually. It's simple, it's modern as well as being quite retro. On the back it just shows you the figures you get, and on the side we've got the Doctor and the Master and the Doctor and Joe. So let's have a look at the figures themselves. So first up, it's the Master figure. This one is obviously based on Roger Delgado, and I think they've got a really good likeness on that. I have to say he is my favourite of all the Masters. Paint app wise, well, he's pretty much in his black suit, but they're pretty good. The eyes are ever so slightly off on my one if you look carefully. So I'm just going to pretend he's in the middle of hypnotising someone. You will obey me. So yeah, great to have a Master figure. Next up, it's the Doctor himself. And again, it's a really nice variant. I love the colour of the jacket. The paint apps are very good on it. Again, it does look like John Pertwee. And they've managed to capture his bouffant hair very nicely. So that's a nice variant. There's loads of articulation on these figures, by the way, in the legs and arms. So you can put them in various poses. And finally, Joe Grant. Now, this is a nice variant. They've never managed to quite capture Katie Manning's features in the face, but it's good enough, and I just love having a figure of Joe Grant. I'm loving the boots. I did see on Katie Manning's Twitter feed that she insisted that her figure was wearing knickers. She is. Let's say that and move on. So 3 really nice figures. I have to say I'm really pleased with this set. I've just noticed Jo's got all her little rings on her fingers as well. So lots of nice attention to detail. The likeness on them is good. Lots of articulation. Yeah, really good set. So next up, it's the 10th Doctor set, and let's turn it around and see what we get in this one. Well, the 10th Doctor, obviously, Vashta Nerada, and Cyberman with Preacher Gun. So, let's set them free. So, the Vashta Nerada from the Brilliant Silence in the Library. This is a okay figure. It feels a little bit basic in detailing. The most disappointing thing is that the helmet doesn't come off. In fact, the head doesn't seem to turn at all. I've just tried it and it's either really stiff or it just doesn't turn, so that's a little bit disappointing. But the figure itself is okay. There's not a great deal of detailing on it. There's lots of articulation. His arm looks really loose there, looks like it's about to fall off, but it's a nice enough figure, I guess. Right, oh dear, the 10th Doctor, who looks like he's just laid an egg. Look at the eyes on that thing, they're scarier than the Masters. I'm not too fussed. I've got so many 10th Doctor figures. I'm not even sure what the variant is on this one, if it is a variant at all. But I guess, yeah, if you need a 10th Doctor figure, he's a nice one to get. Look at the... I've just noticed the lips as well. Oh dear, no, the paint apps on him are terrible. And finally, the Cyberman with his big old gun. I think he's the only figure in the sets to come with an accessory, and it's a big old gun. Yeah, he's okay. Paint apps again are not great. The eyes are a bit dodgy. He's got a bit of something there. And he's a Cyberman figure. So, yeah. I'm not overly impressed with this set, to be honest. The paint apps on the 10th Doctor are just weird. It also feels a bit cheap. But then I guess for $14.99, you can't really complain. And finally, it's the Monsters set, and I have to say I really like the look of this one. So let's have a look and see what we get. A Zygon, Cyberman from the Invasion 1968, and Ice Warrior. So let's set these bad boys free. So first up, it's the Zygons, and we all love the Zygons. They're such a great design, and I think they work well as a figure. This one, the paint apps, well, apart from the terrible splodge on the front there, I mean, how difficult would it be to just sort that out? But anyway, apart from that little smudge, the paint apps are really good on this. It's a nice looking figure. I think it's slightly different to the original issue that we got. Hang on, somewhere around here I've got the original one. Let me find it. Here we go. So yeah, not that different actually, but you can see a slight improvement on the face and eyes. Yeah, it's a shame about that splodge, isn't it? It looks so much better when it's done properly. Anyway, so that's the Zygon figure. He's very top heavy, so he's quite difficult to get standing up. Right, the Cyberman from the Invasion. Now, the Invasion is a great story. I do like it, actually. I mean, I've got a few Cybermen figures, but I think this is a nice variant to have. He looks good. I do like this design as well. So, yeah, I'm happy with him. And finally, the Ice Warrior. And this figure is beautiful. To be honest with you, I'd probably pay $14.99 just for him. He's just fantastic. It's worth buying the set just to get him. He really is beautifully detailed, and I'm a big fan of the Ice Warriors as well. So yeah, I think the original figure is fairly hard to get these days. So if you haven't got him, I recommend picking up the set just to get him. He's brilliant. Although the 3rd Doctor set was the one I really wanted, I have to say I think this might actually be my favourite of the 3, mainly because of this guy. It's a shame about the laziness on the paint apps, but if you can find a good one, I think for the money this is a brilliant set. So 3 nice sets, although to be honest I could probably live without the 10th Doctor one. They retail for $14.99 each though, which is really good value considering you get 3 figures in each set. I just find it irritating that Character have made these exclusive to B&M because it does make them harder to get hold of, especially if, like me, you haven't got a store close to you. It's also frustrating you can't order them from their website because although they've got pictures on there, it just tells you to ring store to check stock, which, believe me, is really irritating. Anyway, if you like the look of the sets, I wish you well getting them. Do let me know in the comments if you've got them or what you think of them. And I hope you've enjoyed coming on this little excursion with me to buy mine. Okay, do check out thegeekshandbag.com for more news and content from me. I'm also on Facebook, Twitter and every other social media. As well as that, I do a weekly Doctor Who podcast with Gary called The Big Blue Box Podcast, so give that a listen. And until the next time, guys, take care. Bye-bye!